It's time for a reality check.
We're here to deconstruct health and fitness trends and provide tangible advice so you can become 1% better with each choice starting today. Welcome back to Reality Check. We are your hosts, Jess and Jill, and today we want to talk about putting in the reps, not just in the gym, but truly in life. I think that instant gratification is sabotaging progress for people a lot of times. And back in the early stages of this podcast, we did an episode called Is Your Goal Getting in the Way of Your Results or Preventing or Sabotaging Your Results, something along those lines. It was one of our first couple of episodes. So this is a little bit of a spinoff of that, essentially. But I think we are in the world of fast, gimme. It's interesting. I actually saw a post last night about how even with like when we're interacting with like customer service professionals, providers, that if something goes wrong, we're like so quick to like place blame because we just in our heads, we are in a society of like, I deserve this thing and I'm entitled to this thing and it should happen right now. And if it doesn't happen right now, I'm pissed. So I really think, and even as like a mom of a 12-year-old, like accessibility to devices and our access to social media and Amazon, like you can order something and it could be here at 5 p.m. today, right? Like we are so accustomed to that if that doesn't happen, we are like, well, what the heck? And then especially in the landscape of GLP-1s now being in the mix when it comes to like health and weight loss specifically, again, we are like, feel so entitled to things that we didn't earn. And I know Jess and I are very on the same page when it comes to raising our children that you got to earn shit in life. And life, I tell Mason all the time, life is not easy. Life is hard. Like full on, it's tough. Get a helmet. Sometimes you got to just let them fail. So it's interesting to think back to our childhood and the way that we did things to now. It's crazy. But anyway, we want to give this in the concept of like life, but also just health and weight loss specifically in general, because I think it's always an important reminder of like what a realistic timeline and expectation is for the things that you're working towards.
I'm like laughing because I just thought of what Jill's son did while I was there. This has nothing to do with this topic, but when she just said Amazon is so quick, I have to tell this story because it was like perfect.
Oh God, I don't remember.
This is a great parenting. I was like, wow, this is really impressive. And she's clearly his mom. He came home from school and was like, okay, mom, could I borrow $12? And she's like, wait, what do you mean? Can you borrow $12? And he's like, well, I have $8 and I need $20 to buy these little skateboard things because I'm going to sell them at school for $8 each. And she's like, whoa. Are you allowed to sell stuff at school? What are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, well, there's this other kid. He sells them for $9.50 a piece. So I'm going to sell them for $8. And before she's even done asking him questions, he pulls up like an order form. He's gotten pre-ordered skateboard. He's like, yep, I've already pre-sold this many of them. So now I just need to buy the $20 package on Amazon. And now I've made $48. And he had it all worked out ahead of time. And like, what a little entrepreneur, just like his mommy. So that's all.
And then I said, yes, I'm happy to loan you $20, but let me know what form and percentage I will be earning my $20 back for investing in your tech deck business.
In your company. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. He's like, no, I just got all these orders at the park. I'm ready to go. Anyway.
I would like you to give you an update since it's only been about a week. He has now made over $100 on tech deck.
It's really impressive. He's like pulling up the order thing on his phone so that people could pick what color skateboard they wanted and stuff.
He bought repair kits and he actually packages mini repair kits for like alternate colored wheels, or for an upsell, he will actually change the wheels and repair the tech deck for you and then give it back.
He's 12. I don't know if I said that. He's 12. It was just pretty impressive. I was proud of him. Anyway, what inspired this episode about like put in the reps? I think a lot of people who listen to us are parents or have experience with other things in life that are not their fitness. You guys know I like a good analogy. I feel like it will resonate with anybody. But the thing that made me think of this was my daughter, who is in soccer practice and is like, why do I have to do these drills? I just want to play games. I already know how to play soccer, i.e. like she kicks a soccer ball around in our backyard. I already know how to play. Why can't I just play games? And I'm like, you gotta put in reps, dude. Like, you don't know how to dribble. You don't know how to pass to somebody. You don't know how to shoot with good technique. I know nothing about soccer, by the way, as I'm saying this. But like, you have to put in the reps. And if anybody was looking at a child, if you were going to sign a child up to play piano, right? You wouldn't just bring them to the recital and be like, all right, go. You pressed on the keys once before, so you must be good. You would sign them up for lessons so that they can learn their scales, so that they can learn their chords, so that they can practice some songs first. We know that. This is a universal law for anything. If you want to learn how to write, you have to learn each letter first. Then you put together sounds with a couple letters. However, as adults, why is everybody so dumb to think like, no, I just deserve the outcome? And it's like, freaking put in the reps. And again, I use the word reps. I'm a trainer. I use the word reps. Put in the reps of anything though, right? Because the better somebody gets at something, the easier it looks. It might look easy for me back squatting because I practiced for years and years to not have my butt tuck under at the bottom and to be able to keep my core stable and to be able to go heavier and heavier. Just because I make it look easy, that doesn't mean it's easy, right? It's because there's these little foundational things that build up over time. But this goes for our behaviors, our habits, eating one healthy vegetable or fruit with your lunch every day eventually becomes your new norm, right? These things stack up to build a skill. So start looking at it as again, this is so cliche and I don't like enjoy the process, right? But ultimately, the process has to become the thing that you focus on if you want lasting outcomes. Because if you're only focused on the outcome and you never actually learn how to put in the reps, you're going to have a piss poor outcome that's going to crumble because you're not building the foundation of the house. So I feel like the kid thing is like a perfect example of Dunning-Kruger effect at its finest. They do something once and they're like, yeah, I'm an expert at it. And I think people are so delusional because we all can walk or run or squat. Like physically, you can move your body since you were born, right? That doesn't mean that you know how to do these other things that are skills. And we have this delusion that like, yeah, it's easy. I'll just go harder. And it's not the most effective route. Mm-hmm. We talked about a quote in our last episode. Knowledge without experience is just philosophy, right? And then experience without knowledge is ignorance. And I think that's kind of it, that like you need both to get good at any skill. You can't just dive right in and be like, okay, cool, I'm ready for results tomorrow without like, you got to pass chapter 1 to get to chapter 2, to get to chapter 3. And I think a lot of people, not just clients who come to us, but clients who come to us and people on the internet are like, okay, I need chapter 10 advice. And we're like, hello, what do you want me to talk to you want me to talk to you about hormone health and you eat 60 grams of protein a day and you fast? Like you need to support your nervous system and actually fuel your body and eat some food first. And let's start to move our body or get
And
sleep.
interestingly enough, in this instant gratification world, people can't stand a simple answer. What do you mean it's not this crazy complex, I am broken, awful, everything is wrong with me, red flag, red alert, emergency? And it's like, no, eat protein, work out, go to bed, and get some nutrients in your diet. Like
you want to feel like you have to do something hard because then you deserve that outcome. And it's like, no, you overlooking the more important basic things over and over is what's causing you to not have that outcome.
Not to mention, like, somebody who has a regulated nervous system, or somebody who very easily maintains a lean physique year round, or somebody who has a very successful business and you're like, why am I not there? Or somebody who's very self-aware and self-driven and whatever. Everyone wants the feeling of the progress, but they never want to go through the process. But the process of the hardship is how you get to that point successfully. Like, I just was talking to I help coach other coaches who have a fitness business. And I was just talking to somebody recently and I was like, she's like, well, I don't know what I want. And I want this, but like, I don't want to work this many hours. And I was like, respectfully, dude, like you're asking me questions about my business. You have, and this is for me or for any other business, you have no idea what somebody's personal life looks like. You have no idea how many hours they work. You have no idea what their profit margins are. So like, never compare yourself to anyone else. Like, I can't stand when clients do this. Well, why does she lose 40 pounds? Well, respectfully, Patricia, she hits her protein target every day. She did a 9-month muscle building phase with me that didn't complain once about eating 2,400 plus calories a day. She goes to the gym diligently 3 times a week. And listen, I'm not saying be perfect or you suck. I'm saying that if you want those outcomes, that was hard. She failed. She collected data along the way. She was willing to get out of her comfort zone and trust my guidance. Even though it took 9 months, she didn't need to take 9 months. It just took a little longer because she had to learn. And that is the point, that there is no set timeline for anyone to do that. But you so desperately want what they have, but you're not willing to go through the process that they went through. And having that self-awareness is so critical. I cannot stress this enough. When people come to me and say, well, how does she make that much money? Well, how does she do this? Well, why are her hormones good? Well, why doesn't she bloat anymore? And this is my body's reaction. She also gained 10 pounds and had horrible bloating through her gut protocol. She's on the other side 12 months later. And like, that's the difference, is that you want the result without ever going through the process, and you are sabotaging yourself.
The question should be, what did that person do, and allow that to inspire you. I heard this on a podcast the other day. I forget who was saying it, but like, the things that elicit comparison in some people elicit inspiration in other people, right? You might look at somebody and compare because, oh, they're so much more successful than me. They must have it easy. They're so much more fit. Well, that must feel nice to be petite and small. Like, you could look at it that way, or you could say, I wonder what kind of lifestyle that person has to be that successful. I wonder what they do day in and day out. And you could talk to them, learn about it, start to implement some of those things. And then you inch your way closer and closer to that. But the way that your perspective is on it is going to change your feelings. It's going to one is just completely an unproductive waste of energy. And the other one could be a productive way to be like, oh, okay, so if that's what they're doing, again, you don't have to be perfect, but if she's working out 3 days a week and I'm working out none, maybe I could work out 1 or 2 and I could get a little closer to those outcomes that again, we're not comparing outcomes. We're saying what inputs produce the outcomes that are desirable. Focus on your inputs, focus on putting in reps, because over time, those reps add up. You guys know we love James Clear. He's the Atomic Habits guy. I saved this the other day on Instagram. He just posted, there are all kinds of cheat codes lying around, but they usually look boring. People will routinely ignore things that already work for the hope of a slightly easier path. The cheat code is in the work that you are trying to avoid. Put in the small reps of the basics, and that consistency will pay off hugely over time. You do not need some health hack, biohack fad.
Absolutely. And this, like, again, we're always looking for like quick relief. Sometimes we need something, but it's like, even with scrolling and shopping and caffeine and comparing your weight from this week to last week and whatever, you are triggering this like dopamine reward pathway, and then you need more, and you need more, and you need more, and you're never going to be satisfied until you just like let go a little bit, like chill out, have fun. It's not that serious. This is part of life. And I think that's really the difference between people who successfully lose weight and get healthy and don't have to try so hard because they've gained the knowledge and the tools and the resources and they've put in the reps. The difference is that they have embraced that process and they've adopted those things, whereas other people just want the thing without building the skills and the habits that they need to fill the gap. And you're chasing this quick fix, and then you want more and you want faster. Now you're on GLP-1 and you lost 40 pounds, but you gained it back. So you go back on it. And it's like, you are taking all of these shortcuts to avoid doing hard work, that you're actually making the process longer and more difficult for yourself. And you've actually created a longer runway. And now you're even more burnt out than when you started in the first place. Had you just taken the time to learn how to lift weights and learn how to optimize your nutrition and learn how to go through dieting phases, like, you've now made it longer and harder for yourself, all because you were chasing a quick fix that didn't serve you. And obviously that applies to every area of life, but you need to let go of that like stimulation and that quick fix and just chill out. I actually had 2 clients who came to me a couple weeks ago, and they were like, like the one client was like, I am acting out of character over this scale. And she's like, I appreciate the data that you presented to me so much. She was freaking out about the scale. And I was like, yo, girl, I'm actually kind of confused why you're worried about the scale, because the scale is exactly the same as when we started, but you're eating 1,000 calories more on average per day. What's the problem? but like she's so used to, and this is a lot of clients that come to us, they are so used to seeing the scale go down that they it literally blinders. Like it's the only thing she worried about. And I'm like, your sleep is better. Your energy is better. You're going on date nights without blowing up the next day. You're eating 1,000 calories more per day. You have more energy in your lifts. You're lifting your body weight when you squat, for God's sakes. You have so many wins, but we have learned through weight loss specifically to only value the scale and everything else is irrelevant. And that perspective shift, she was like, this has been so incredibly eye-opening, and how cool to lift more than my body weight on my back for reps. Like the fact that I didn't value that is crazy. And she has really like, she's like, I'm acting out of character in these check-ins. Like she'll check in and be emotional. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just projected all of that at you. And I'm like, that's okay. Like that's my job, is to show you this other data to learn how to value those things. But she has already become a completely different person in a couple of weeks since starting the process. I know that if she quit tomorrow, which she's not, obviously, she still got so much value out of our time together up to this point that she will never look at the scale the same negative way that she does today. Like in a better way. Obviously, I didn't word that correctly, but ultimately that's the point, is she's learning how to put in the reps and that it takes time. And she was like, holy shit, I thought I had a great relationship with food. I got a lot of work to do. And I understand why you have the timeline for things that you do. And that's really cool. And now we're just working on building that skill set and amplifying it. And that obviously is going to get her results that are easier to get, but ones that she can maintain for the rest of her life. And that's really what fills my cup and why I do what I do. So I think that's important too, that it is beyond obviously just the gym and the reps that she's putting in there too. And not chasing validation out of the ultimately.
Yeah, you're focusing on all these other little wins. I mean, that was the point. We didn't have notes for this episode. I just was like, we have to talk about putting in reps, because the amount of times I've had this conversation with my child about different things in the last 2 weeks is wild. And I feel like, again, everybody would agree. If you were talking to somebody else about any other skill, it would make sense that you would learn the basics first before trying to move on to some advanced thing. However, for some reason, we all put our health in this other category. Like there should be some sort of shortcut. There's not a shortcut for actual sustained success. And again, look at the people who are actually maintaining their fitness, not the people who yo-yo and post their before and afters every 3 months. Look at the people who are actually maintaining their fitness and health. Ask them what they do. Keep it that simple, right? Like a lot of times they are lifting weights consistently, eating plenty of protein, eating some fruits and vegetables.
And I want to be clear too, because we keep tying back to this book is our whole identity now. But the phrase that Jess mentioned is, a lot of women come to us and say, I know the right things to do and I've been doing them and I don't know why it's not working. One, a lot of times we think we know the right things to do because
and they're not.
Of diet culture, and they're not the right things. But let's say that you did know the right things. Even still, knowledge lives in your prefrontal cortex. Experience is in the body, in your limbic system, in your somatic systems. And we have to align those two things. And that happens through consistent repetitions, right? Which is obviously the point of this episode. But ultimately, the brain and the body are going to adapt to what you repeat, not what you want. Or
not because you read a book about it once. Like if you keep reading these books and learning stuff and you never actually apply it, respectfully, you don't know how to do it because you've never once done it.
Yeah,
let alone the internet done it and helped lots of people do it from all different backgrounds. You have to learn the basics before you can go play in the big leagues.
Everything that we teach is on the internet, realistically, or in a book somewhere. Like you can access this information, but information is absolutely useless
if you don't
actually apply the concepts and embody the concepts in your life and in your identity. And instant gratification, we're always chasing the peak and the high, and we want to get up there as fast as we can. But unfortunately, with instant gratification comes really fucking low lows too, because you are constantly up and down, whereas your trajectory could be steady up to the peak and living your life and staying up there if you just took a fucking breath to learn a new skill. So really that's ultimately the little pep talk that we wanted to give you today about
Go do one thing.
Yeah.
Go write down something you're going to do today and do it. And then do one thing tomorrow and just keep doing that.
Over and over.
Yeah. And the things to prioritize, again, protein, plants, lifting, sleep. Protein, plants, lifting, sleep. Do those things over and over again.
I know.
That's
so
it.
we can just tattoo it on our foreheads. But we hope that was helpful and a good, tangible takeaway, actionable pep talk for you, not just blowing smoke up your butt. Now go do something, please. Thank you. Hope that was helpful. See you guys next time.